Well, we picked up another sander. We got this one from Harbor Freight. And BAUER, I think they call it BAUER. And here it is. Like $199. I think I got it for $184. You watch this thing, will probably go on sale here within the month or close to Christmas. They kind of put sales off and on. But let me explain to you the reason why I bought it. Of course, I need a second one. It doesn't matter. I mean, to me, I can have hundreds of sanders. To me, sanders make the job go a lot faster, and it's a lot easier than using hands. So if you're starting out as a beginner, this might be something you want to look at, because for the price of it, it's very, very good. What happened to us is our capacitor went bad on the shop box, and the shop box is expensive, a little bit more expensive. I'd say we threw about another 150 bucks, maybe $200 into it from the difference. And I'm going to explain to you what I think the difference a little bit is. Of course, I'm going to show you. This is where I tore apart. Now, what happened is I kept hearing a little bit of a kind of rattling, like a metal, kind of a metal sound in it. You know what I'm saying? Well, what happens is, you know, it might not have enough grease or something in this bearing. You can see the bearing, and it's not wore out or nothing. It's just dry, and it's a sealed bearing. And I have popped those seals off them and repacked them, but you know, for the price of that bearing, I'll just keep it and probably repack it and use it for later. But for the cost of those bearings, I think they were something like $6-8 a piece or something like that. So you know, if you hear something like that in one of your tools, it's probably best to get a hold of it before you run the whole thing. So and also they're not hard to, some people think, well, you know, you do measure them. You do take a ruler, you know, you measure and then measure the inside for your shaft. But most of the time I'll just take the numbers off of them. They have little numbers printed on them. You can go to eBay or Amazon. eBay, I buy a lot off eBay when it comes to bearings, because there's a guy that does a lot of bearings, sells a lot, and I just deal with him because you know, I could talk to him easier, and he'll tell me what I need. So that's what we did. We ordered new bearings and new matched up a capacitor, so it's coming in. Probably being within probably about a week, we get this one back together. Now, like I said, if you are a beginner, this is something you really need to look into it. I mean, I've been using different types of sanders, and I always say the more the better, because you know, you got to get your work done. It's faster. So this here came out to the lowest price. It does have a vibration to it, a little bit more than what a shop box does, and it might be because I see how this disc is really thin, and then of course this disc here is aluminum. It might have a difference, and I don't know right off the bat, but I just know it's a little, maybe this one's a little bit more balanced than what this one is. But you can't get them perfect. But for the price of it, and you're just starting out, this is what you need to look into. Okay, it's got a really nice, about a 7-inch wide deck, paired with the shop box only got 5. Okay, you got a 16-inch across here, so that makes it nice big platform. This is made out of aluminum, so it's not gonna rust or anything like that. But you do have to keep, you know, be careful that you don't whack down on it, hit down on it. You know what I mean? You don't beat it up or anyway. It comes with this shield, which my other one didn't, but we're going to take this off. We don't like this. It's just something we don't use. And then of course it came with the disc, with the sand disc. The sand disc was on. I didn't put that on there. But when you change that sand disc, you got to take this off. You got to take a deck off, and then this port underneath here. You have to take some of these screws out and pop this. This will pop out. Okay, that's your dust collector right there. So I've actually took them, the sandpaper off sometimes and slid them up through, but when you put the new one back on, you just can't seem to get lined up. Some people can, I guess. I did hear people talking about, because I looked at a couple of videos online too, and they were talking about these little, the little knob that tighten up underneath. And what they are, they're spring loaded. Okay, they have a little spring with a screw right through it. And the way you use these things, it clips in like this, you pull out on it, move it up, and then you can turn it. Okay, because they put these up underneath. Okay, because you know, I don't really think you want to put a knob that sticks out real far and you're going to hit it. So by making these so you can put these up underneath, and then you can put this handle. So if I don't want that handle up like that, you know, I can put that handle down here someplace and just kind of keep it out of the way. That's how that works, you know. Same thing's on this other side. So if you go to do it this side, see, because if you turn them, Sometimes you turn the go all the way up now. They'll hit top of the deck. Well, you just pull out on it, then move it up, then do it again. See what I'm saying? Just like that. Of course, you'll often, I think the capacitor is probably in here. Now, they do have a fan on the back of these, just like this other one. Okay, they give you this little fan that's inside of here, and of course it blows through, and there's some holes up around here, and it kind of keeps the motor a little bit cool. Just blows some air onto that twisting behind on that shaft back there. So that's nice. Shop Fox, of course, pretty much all of them have the same thing to keep these motors cooler. Okay, just in case you wanted to know what was on inside of here. Of course, it has some rubber bushings on the bottom down here. Pretty heavy. It's real nice there. I think the machine's really heavy too. I think it's heavier than a Shop Box is. But like I said, it does have a vibration to it, which if you're a beginner, this is something you really want to pick up. Sanders, I don't think there's enough sanders for people to have. I mean, when you're doing woodworking, because you can buy 2 of these, be nice, for the price what I paid for Shop Box, and just put maybe like an 80 grit on this one, and put maybe a 120 on the other one. So when you're sanding, you know, you're not always have to replace this to find out you're doing maybe some cabinet work, not even cabinet work, you know, like little boxes or something like that, and you want a nice smooth finish to get something cut fast. So sanders mean a lot when you're doing woodworking, trust me. And then also the ports on. You have to have these dust ports on these things. It's just too hard to run a sander, and dust is everywhere. So you need a shop vac. So if you're going to buy this, and if you don't got a shop vac, go get a shop vac, because I'm going to tell you, it's right now, it's going to make a world difference, and it's what you're going to need. You need some way to get rid of that dust. So this runs a 1 1/4 horse, so it's got a 1/4 horse more than what we have the Shop Fox. It's a 1 horsepower. I don't think that makes a whole lot of difference. It probably does a little bit, you know. So when you're using maybe rougher wood, I don't know, maybe some oak or something like that, it might help out a little bit. But I have had no problem with the 1 horsepower. But I advise you right now, just try to stick with the 1 horsepower and up, because some of them smaller ones that they make like this, it might be cheaper. I'm not for sure, but when you're using them and you're sanding, they'll slow down and stop, and then you got to wait for it to speed back up, and that's hard on the motor doing that. So it takes a lot more time with some of the smaller motors with the sanders, you know, like this. So try to stay with the 1 horsepower and up, you know, as high as you can get. Okay, let me go ahead and hook up this shroud here. I'm going to hook the vac up to it. We're going to run a piece of wood and let you guys hear what it sounds like. Well, I'll tell you what, that didn't do too bad. Now you can see what I was using, the little square. Now it's plastic and stuff. They probably could have put aluminum or something on it, you know, made it a little bit nicer. But and of course there's the setting on it. There's no stopper on them. A lot of them have a little stopper in the back. It just kind of stopped it right on 90. So you just kind of click it into it and stop. So you have to be kind of careful and make sure it sets right there. What I would do, I would just go ahead and put a square on it to make sure, something like this, if you're going to line everything up, you know, just take a little square and then put a square onto your table right here, and then if you want to set it on 90, like I'd have to do just a little bit right there, and then set it, and then that'll give you the best you can. Let's see what it does on this anyways. Let's see. Yeah, it was a little bit off. It was a little bit off, but it's like I said, you can't really, it's hard to tell unless you look down, because the numbers are not lit up or, you know, or marked or anything. They're just the same color as the unit itself, and that makes it a little bit harder. But you can probably reset that little screw just a little bit, you know, if you want to get it perfect. But no, if you're a beginner, I'm telling you, if you're a beginner, go look and see what Harbor Freight's have on this, and they run themselves. And this is really nice sander. And like I said, it's going to be a great addition to the woodworking. And I don't think a person truly has enough sanders when you're doing this kind of work. I just don't think so. Even if you're you like kind of doing it in your garage or some little hobby, you're doing hobbies and stuff. I mean, just put something a little bit smaller than that on. That thing's pretty rough, and you can make some pretty quick projects. You know, and that's what I like about it. You can go quicker, and you know, if you're sanding little pieces and stuff, instead try sand palm sander or something like that. So, okay, there you go. The Harbor Freight 12-inch, okay, disc sander. Check it out, they're pretty decent. And of course the shop box is a good one too. Just had a little bit of downfall on the capacitor and the bearing. It's not a biggie. We'll go ahead and replace them. But you will, I do believe most small motors like this, you will have to eventually change the capacitor if you use it a lot. But it's over time. So if you don't use it a lot, it probably lasts you a good, you know, maybe 8 or 9 years. I don't know, something like that. But mine, like I said, this one, but I use it a lot. You know, the shop box, I use it a lot. I mean, I'm always making some kind of project, so it did really well, and we're going to fix it up. So, okay, well, that's it. I hope it gives you guys you know, maybe you can make a decision on what type of sander you'd like to have, and to help you with your woodworking. That'd be great. So, okay, you guys have a great day. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and hit that like button. I really appreciate that, and it really helps out a lot of the channel. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.